What do you think about sim racing though? Because, so explain for people who don't know what sim racing is. It's just like you have your own steering wheel at home with pedals, and then like you race like on tracks against other people, like on your computer almost in a way. But sim racing has got so good over the last few years that it almost accurately represents what it feels like to drive a real racing car. So you'll see a lot of people just doing sim racing on the side, like Max Verstappen, who's the current F1 world champion. He does sim racing all the time. Like, I think quite funnily, he'll have a F1 race the next day and he'll stay up till like 2 a.m., 3 a.m. playing sim racing before his big race on the next
I
day.
find that so jokes that he has like a portable racing sim. Like he'll like take it all over the world with him, and if there's like a big sim racing thing, he'll literally do it the night before, and then the day after he's in an F1 car. But I think last year it came up that he did a sim race and then he had a dodgy race the next day
Mm.
because of maybe lack of sleep or whatever, and then Red Bull were like, yeah, you can't do this anymore.
Yeah, too much on the line.
Yeah,
See,
he's
I think it's interesting
prioritizing
with
sim
Lewis
racing.
Hamilton because Lewis Hamilton refuses to use the sim, and that's quite different, isn't it?
I guess that's like age as well. Like, I'm sure a lot of younger drivers practice at home because they can get an idea of like maybe they're going to a new track and they want to learn the track before they get there. And there's definitely a benefit. But some for like Lewis Hamilton, he might prefer the real feel of the car because realistically, you only feel stuff through your hands, and he might prefer like obviously when you're in a real car, you have like the motion of the actual car, the G forces and everything. So it might be different in that respect for him because he hasn't grown up with it or something like that.
Yeah, I suppose. Do you think, you were mentioning before about how you think that not many people who are from a poorer background will be able to get into racing in the future. Do you think that perhaps sim racing could allow a new opportunity for people that aren't rich to get into Formula One or most?
It's definitely a lot harder, but I wouldn't say it's impossible. Like, say iRacing, for example, if you're like the very best driver at iRacing, which is very hard to do, like I'm sure you would get noticed by teams. And if you started doing esports in that, some might think, oh, this guy might have the potential to be good in a real car. But I
Mm.
don't think with sim racing you'll never be in Formula One, but GT3 racing definitely and stuff like that because it's with the licenses you have to go through F3, F2. You have to do that to be a Formula One driver.
Yeah, so
But